Jeremy Fowler of ESPN used to cover the Browns here, right? Out in Berea?
Yeah.
All right, so he says that that Beckham is quitting on plays. He says it's the intangibles with Beckham, whose mental roller coaster on the game day keep him from greatness, one prominent coach said. They've been watching him carefully over the years, and the veteran coach said, added a veteran player, the whole game seems to like a lot for him. At some point, you have to say, none of your teams are going to be successful. At some time, you have to wonder about that. Do you agree with their point that Beckham might be taking plays off and maybe quarters off?
Well, I've heard whispers of that over the years. We thought it wouldn't be a big deal here. It was just something that him and Eli Manning and, those coaches that he had there in New York were the issue. And now you're hearing about some of that too in a season that spiraled out of control. You're 2-6 to start the season, and that was after all the lofty expectations that they had. I do think it's a little bit unfair, though, to make it seem like Odell is the reason they're losing games. Look, if you're relying on your wide receiver to be like your leader, look, you can't build them all like Julio Jones, like guys like that. This thing with Odell, I was shocked that they still had him on that list as the number 4 overall wide receiver. I was thinking, what year was this list taken? Because if you had told me that 3.5 years ago, absolutely. You might have called him the best wide receiver in the game. The reality is injuries the last 3 years and just a lot of drops, a lot of balls that he should catch. He's the guy that's supposed to catch everything. He just hasn't really lived up to that superstar billing over the last 3 or so years. Again, some of it, to be fair, injuries. But now I have to ask, is he injury prone? And should we even have the expectation for him to be a top-fledged wide receiver in this league this year? Jarvis Landry was better than him last year.
Yeah, and I also thought that when Jarvis Landry and he got together, that would have made up for whatever problems either one had. Although Landry didn't have the problems coming in.
Well, they said there were some locker room issues. I think that was just people talking bad about him out the door to justify what went on with him and Adam Gase when he was with the Miami Dolphins. I think Jarvis has been great. And I just saw, skill position-wise, Bill Barnwell of ESPN said they have the second best skill position groups in the entire NFL behind the Kansas City Chiefs, right ahead of the Dallas Cowboys. I do think, Odell and Jarvis, they're not to me elite wide receivers at this point, at least from what I've seen. But they're both very good. They both still can be good. And in the right offense, as long as they're not worried about touches, I think in this offense that is supposed to be designed around the run and play action, they might be upset at times if they're not getting those targets. But I think a lot of that could be erased if they just win ball games, which hopefully that is what Stefanski's going to be able to do with this loaded team.
When I hear